Hey, Tony and Fiona, it's really great to see you. We're just doing this short interview because you are currently walking through a season of uncertainty, a season of unknowns, and we just wanted to talk for a few minutes about what does it mean to trust Jesus in the midst of the unknown. And so, Tony, maybe you can just briefly tell us kind of what's been happening over the last few weeks for you.
Yeah, okay. So recently I was called into my office for some series of meetings. I've worked in oil and gas industry for nearly 30 years, but at the beginning of July I was called in for consultancy meetings, and it's led to a series of meetings that have resulted in I'm going to be made redundant by the end of this month. So that's a huge uncertainty for us because I've never been out of work in 30 plus years.
Tony, tell us a little bit about the kind of little evidence of God's grace to you recently as you were thinking about, well, what does the future look like? And God's just kind of provided you with a little kind of evidence of grace that he's with you now. Okay,
so having sort of consulted all the normal channels, I found that oil and gas was pretty much the same all over, nothing happening. So I decided that I'd use an old skill of truck driving and needed to go back and do some training. Now, I was hesitant to book the training because it's 5 days, it's quite expensive, and we don't know at present the financial situation that we're in. We're trusting, but we don't know at present. So I waited. We then had contact from somebody, a close friend, that gave us a check for the amount of money to cover all the training for the heavy goods and for forklift training as well.
That's just wonderful.
So it was a real blessing.
Yeah. So obviously you are right now in the midst of this time of uncertainty. The answers aren't clear yet about what the future is going to look like. I think what would be really helpful is, could you just try and describe for us what it means for you both to be trusting Jesus in the midst of this uncertainty? What does that look like for you?
Okay, so at present we don't know what the future holds, but we know a God that does know everything and does hold our future. So at the moment we're letting go and letting God, and we're excited as to what's going to happen.
Yeah. What about you, Fiona? As a wife, it must be very concerning, walking through this situation. So what does it look like for you to be trusting Jesus in the midst of this uncertainty?
I think my immediate reaction was go straight to prayer. I always believe talk to Jesus every day. Know he hears us when he prays. He's interested in every little area of our lives. So I started to pray and just trust, knowing that we've never been completely in a situation. Tony's never been made redundant before. And so I just trusted, was not afraid when friends were phoning up and saying, you're not worried what's going to happen. And I said, no, we're not. We just believe God is in control.
Yeah.
And therefore we need not fear. So, it's just been a chance to really say, well, we're standing there with God, believing that he will not let us go. He'll never give out on us. He'll never give up on us. And we need to just trust.
That's wonderful. The story hasn't ended. We are looking forward with anticipation to hearing the answers to these prayers that you've been praying over the coming months. And so maybe we can do a follow-up interview when we hear some of the answers. But thank you for being honest with us and sharing with us what it's like to trust Jesus in the midst of the unknown. And I think for me, just hearing you both talk, the thing that stood out to me was just the way that you immediately leaned into God in the midst of the unknown, trusting in your loving Heavenly Father. And we as your friends want you to know that we're praying and we're standing with you, believing God that He will take care of you in this coming season. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us, Tony and Fiona.
Thank you.
Thank you.